102.9 FM. The Buzz.
There is no water, electricity. In politics, women are marginalized.
As the democratic space gets broader and political activities become more intense, with many Nigerians angling for relevance and agitating for their voices to be heard, Magic 102.9 FM Aba has taken a giant leap by providing the needed platform that captures the essence of your individual, corporate, and most importantly, your political needs.
You see, the government is trying, but it's just this insecurity.
Yes, showcase your aspirations, opinions, and more as a politician, political party, government, community, organization, association, and more. Join Magic 102.9 FM Aba on People and Politics, Mondays to Fridays at 9 a.m. For inquiries and participation, please call 0903-282-3717. People and Politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space. 7.
Right, and so we hit the road immediately. In our country, whereas a lot of people are gnashing their teeth, they are wallowing in abject poverty, we see a situation where state governors are wasting money literally. As we speak, we're watching a national network television station, and it is for what? Zamfara state government, a poor state that has been bedeviled with a whole lot of insurgency, poverty, lack of education, health facilities, and all. They are presenting the budget live on national television network. And that is the one that is available to us. Maybe there are others. And then you ask yourself, the money is being used for stuff like this. Can't it do something tangible, even if it is for one local government in the state? Question. Another issue this morning is the plight of indigenous contractors who for over 2 months have taken their fight with the government to the open after several years of contesting it. Now, the government has been promising. We even watched the Senate president who said, as he was speaking at the time, that they were at the gate and that they were approving a loan, a specific loan, just to be able to settle, the debts owed the, indigenous contractors. Believe you me, nothing has been done, to the point that these contractors have now, in their multitude, taken their mats and pillows and blankets, pots and pans, stoves, to the front of the finance ministry in Abuja. And this is the place that we all know harbors the three-armed zone. Not only that, just adjacent to it, the diplomatic circle. Is this circle the diplomatic residences, so to speak? And it is now an open sore that the entire world is seeing. We now know that these contractors executed most of the projects that governors and ministers and presidents have been commissioning all over the place, yet they've not been paid. And they have incurred losses. Some have even died along the way. For how long shall we continue in this deceit? Well, you're welcome to People and Politics this morning. We have a whole lot more to talk about. Stay with us.
That's right. In the course of the program this morning, we will be taking a look at what's transpired at the National Assembly yesterday, precisely the Red Chambers, where the Senate confirmed General Musa's nomination as Defense Minister. The Senate also yesterday passed a very strategic bill. The bill is seeking death penalty for kidnappers, hostage takers. Well, that bill has scaled second reading. Still from the Senate, the Red Chambers is seeking answers on how $30 million Safe School initiative collapsed. Well, the Senate has summoned the likes of Finance Minister and, of course, his education counterpart. Away from the National Assembly, we'll be taking a look at what transpired during the National Economic Council meeting yesterday. The NEC has approved 100 billion naira for renovation of security agencies' training institutions in Nigeria. CBN ends cash deposit limits for bank customers. Well, stay tuned to find out how these would affect your transactions. And the last story this morning has to do with the ruling party, the APC. The ruling party would hold its national caucus and NEC meetings December 15 and 16. All these have been posted on our Facebook page, facebook.com/MagicFMNG. Check us out on Instagram at Magic FM Nigeria. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Magic FM Abba. Thank you for joining us. My name is Ben Watu.
I am Bon Yunugu. Good morning and welcome. The Senate has confirmed the nomination of a former Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Christopher Musa, as Minister of Defense after a 5-hour grilling by the lawmakers yesterday. General Musa, the immediate past CDS, was confirmed by the lawmakers following the screening at the Senate chambers a day after President Bola Tinubu nominated him for the position. His screening came at the time of heightened insecurity in Nigeria, with mass abductions, especially in schools, becoming commonplace. For the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, President Trump of the United States was putting pressure on Nigeria, insisting that Musa must therefore be properly grilled.
The reason I say so is that the man standing in front of us could be regarded as a solution to the current insecurity in the country. And we are not here on our own. We are here representing our constituents. And our constituents would like to hear from him whether his appointment will enable them to sleep well, whether their children will be safe in schools. So we are not asking him questions because we don't like. We're asking him questions because our constituents would have loved to ask him questions at a time like this. So if we come here and we do politics of bow and go, this is not a period we should say bow. Even Donald Trump is on our neck.
General Musa said one of the first things he would do was to probe the alleged withdrawal of troops, insisting that the military is not known for cowardice, and we mean the withdrawal of troops from the MAGA school in Kebbi. He pledged total support to seeing that the country is safe for everyone.
My best in ensuring that Nigeria is secured and safe. But we cannot do it alone. No single individual can do it. No single parastatal can do it. We need the support of everyone, every Nigerian and everyone living in Nigeria, working together as a team, because it's going to be a teamwork. The enemies we are dealing with are evil forces that don't mean this country well, and they have no respect for human life. And that's why it's important for us to know that if we don't work together, we'll give them the opportunity to continue to perpetrate the evil acts they have been doing.
Anyway, for General Musa, it's a question of removing the khaki and now wearing agbada, because no one can tell me that he has rested well. This is a man who has seen it all, has even been in the theater of war. That is where we are right now. It's no longer operation. We like to color things beautifully here. It was theater of war. He was there. He saw it all, and then became the Chief of Defense Staff. He still saw it, and he had his ideas about how to deal with this thing. Well, we hear that he was not, his ideas were not, acceptable to some persons in high quarters until we faced this pressure, which of course the Senate President even alluded to this morning. But let me tell you this. I read this somewhere this morning, and just like the Senate President said, who knows if this man will have the final solution to this, to the problem on ground. What I read was this: I have never seen a ministerial nominee, nor even defense minister, who has general and public acceptance in the entire country like General Christopher Musa. My words to the newly appointed Minister of Defense, and I quote the gentleman who wrote, "Kindly deliver Nigeria and Nigerians, because we believe in your spirit of nationalism and patriotism. Sir, you can do it. So help you God. So help Nigeria and Nigerians God." I just picked it from somewhere, and I think this is something we can etch somewhere, and it will become what General Musa should wake up every morning and read and internalize as he marshals out, decisions that have to be taken in order to quell this insurrection, this war in Nigeria. But again, let's look at the core of the issue before we go to an Akpabio, who for the first time, as far as I am concerned, stood up to the fact of an issue of this matter and even talked about let's not play politics. This is an Akpabio that even when matters of serious concern were being discussed, he would pause plenary, and then, as had been said, he would appear at the presidential villa. This time round, an Akpabio said, no, we have to grill this man. And we are told for 5 hours he was on his feet. Who were those who said he should just take a bow? Were those the ones who loved him more? Were they better Nigerians? Well, I don't know the angle you're coming from, but we need to look at Akpabio for the first time as Senate President, who spoke the minds of Nigerians.
Well, let me start this way. To a great extent, we owe a very big thank you to the US President Donald Trump. It took a tweet from the US President Donald Trump for our leaders to realize the devastation that insecurity is having in the lives of common Nigerians. We, the common Nigerians, owe Donald Trump that appreciation. If Donald Trump had not made that tweet, believe me, our leaders would have continued the way we've always done. Since after that social media post was made, we've seen a new lease of life as far as addressing insecurity in Nigeria is concerned. All of a sudden, we hear our lawmakers grilling someone who was sent to them by the president. It has never happened. For 5 hours, the current National Assembly grilled the defense minister nominee, and that is exactly how it should be. Well, for General Christopher Musa, he's got the loyalty of the soldiers, because unlike his predecessor in office, who the soldiers were seen as a politician, a bloody civilian, this time around they are looking at Christopher Musa as one of their own, and I think that would count for him. Also, he's got the ears of Mr. President. That would also amount to something. Over time, I've listened to General Musa. He knows what to do to address insecurity in Nigeria. And if you take a look at some of the solutions or some of the answers he provided yesterday, one is that he said eventually soldiers will be taken off the road, let the police do their job, which is exactly what it's supposed to be. We've so polluted the military that right now the military now acts as megad. We saw what transpired in Abuja. Soldiers guiding the land of a private individual. Is that ideal? Is that what it's supposed to be? So I'm glad that General Musa has come on board, and I say congratulations to him. But beyond that, Bonnie, let's also take a look at the flip side. Did you notice that most of the seats at the red chambers were empty yesterday? Going by the records, we should have 109 senators. But guess what? Yesterday I couldn't count more than 50 senators who were present during that screening. What does that tell you? That most of these senators do not come around. They do not come to work. The only time you get to see a full Senate is when the president is coming to present a national budget, or when the president is coming to make an address to the nation. That is when you see the full numbers in the in the National Assembly. But anything apart from that, you see scanty seats here and there. Right now we should be having 108 because of the late Senator Okezia, who died, the man from Enugu who died recently. So that also counts. It shows that the lawmakers, the people's representatives, are not really feeling the pain of the people, because if they were, yesterday was an opportunity for them to show the people that indeed this insecurity that is pervading the land is also causing us sleepless nights. But a situation where they have access to the military soldiers, they have access to police, they have access to DSS, they don't really know what an ordinary Nigerian goes through. As we speak this morning, a Catholic priest was abducted in Kaduna. In Enugu, there were incidents of kidnap along the Enugu, exactly, Opi Abakpa Road. We can go on and give you, mention so many instances of insecurity in the country. But those who we have elected to provide solutions to these things appear not to care. So I'm thanking Donald Trump once again. He should keep pressing their neck, the way we say in the local parlance, until they realize that the life of a Nigerian is important, just like theirs. Let's put the pressure so that the right things would be done. General Musa talked about no negotiation with terrorists. I agree with that point, because you can't have a situation where you negotiate with terrorists, rehabilitate them, give them a uniform, and after 2 months you see the same person carrying weapons, still killing Nigerians and abducting them for money. He talked about no ransom payments. Well, that one, everything boils down to government. If government doesn't want Nigerians to pay ransom, they should do the needful. They should not allow kidnapping to take place in the first place, because if there's no kidnapping, there will be no ransom payment. Then he also said something very important yesterday, which as a layman I've always asked, why have we not been doing this? Whenever ransom is paid, cash, bulk money, we've seen these bandits display this money. Is it not possible for these monies to be tracked? So General Musa yesterday said, if we must pay ransom, we must come up with a mechanism to track these monies.
They even see hard currency with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, Ben, for me, the last portion of what we heard from General Musa this morning was that it is not a one man's job. Before, Nigerians would think that because General Christopher Gwabi Musa is there now, that everything is sorted. He said it is going to be a collective effort. And this collective effort is not you and I here. Maybe the you and I here will be to give information, in that order. But for me, the collective effort is those in government, those in high places, those who have been suspected and almost named as sponsors and financiers of terrorism, that governments in Nigeria have never got, the balls to expose to Nigerians or deal with. I am also seeing a situation where a General Musa will have, the temerity, the audacity in this sense, or let's even call it the authority, to name these people. And let's see the laws deal with them. Of course, the National Assembly is coming up with something which we'll tell you in the course of the program, that has to do with hostage taking, kidnappings, and all of that. And of course, terrorism. Of course, we know terrorism is death as per penalty. All this while, this is the second to it, because there are layers of these terrorism acts and all that. Well, we cannot finish it, but basically we'll be watching. One good thing I want to believe is that General Musa is still, like he's still in uniform. True. Basically, because he just talked about weeks of his exit after serving for almost 40 years, and he's just 58 years of age. So I see him his head still working, and the ideas that he put down. He was even asking young boys, bloggers, to give him certain information.
That's right.
As revealed by VDM recently. All right, to tell you how patriotic, how passionate he was about this whole saga. Anyway, we just take our first break. We will be back and we'll talk more on national issues. It's people and politics. Don't go away.
This beautiful black dress, add to cart. This fridge is cheap, oh. I beg, add to cart, Joe. Are you sure I won't just add skincare? Well, add to cart, Joe.
Perfect for mommy. Add to cart. It's smartwatch and add to cart.
Yes, sir. Jumia Black Friday is on. Do pass yourself from 31st of October to the 1st of December. Get all the things you've always wanted at 60% off with Jumia's biggest deals of the year. From phones and accessories to electronics, clothes, beauty products, and many more. Add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart.
Oh, Subrino, and when December, they went here MTN Yellow Tide December. Ntigo de kwaya, sito no bruzoro ni mulo. Ikuku kuru ne kwari maka ihe ntumanya dị egwu. Dịka ngwugwu oge ezumike dị ụtọ, onyinye n'efu, mbelata ọnụ ahịa, ndụ na-amasị ndị odogwu nakwa ihe ndị ọzọ dị ukwuu. Ya mere nwanne, isoro biri n'obodo anyị ya bụ Naija, ka isi mba ofesi batacha. Ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ ịkụ ngwọrị, zuru ike, larịa ihe nkiri, gaa njem. Yellow Tide apụtala n'ime ka ihe kpụrụ ọkụ n'oge a. Ekwekwala ka ụgbọ hapụ gị. Jee na internet webụsaịtị ugbu a na www.yellowtide.mtn.ng ka ị soro Yellow Tide n'ihe a na-eme.
Yes, so this is Jolly Johnny on the streets. How well do you know Maggi chicken flavor? Oh yeah, spell celery.
S-E-L-A-R-I-E. Celery.
Bros, you want turn to salary? Okay, spell turmeric.
T-U-R-M-E-R-I-C.
Yes, so
turmeric.
Correct. 1 carton of Maggi chicken flavor for you.
Maggi chicken flavor with onions, celery, and turmeric. My game changer.
Ọ bụ eziokwu na ihe siri ike mana anyị ga-eke nkwụcha n'aka na Total Energies n'ime ihe dịka afọ 10 ugbu a anyị nọ na-agba mbọ inye gị quartz engine oil na-echekwara gị injin ụgbọala ma nke ukwu ma nke nta ga na-arụkwa ọrụ ka kwesịrị na-aṅụghị mmanụ ụgbọala karịsịa. E nwere quartz maka injin ọbụla, ọ bụ nke diesel maọbụ nke petrol, nke hybrid na nke latrik ga na-arụ ọrụ n'ụzọ pụrụ iche ma mee injin gị anọte aka na-akwụ ya nwụrụ ọkụ ma ị were mmanụ injin Quartz akpachapụrụ anya mepụta igbochi nke a n'anya ha. Were mmanụ injin Quartz nwee ezi nchekwa ka injin gị kwụrụ chimchim ma nọte aka. Were Total Energies nyawa ụgbọ mmanụ injin na-enweghị oyiri kemgbe afọ.
Mama ghọtara ije. Ị na-eme.
Ana m eme nri ụtụtụ etinyere milik ụmụaka na-etolite etolite Peak 456 nke ụmụaka ya bụ Peak 456 n'olu bekee.
Nri ụtụtụ etinyere Peak 456 milik ụmụaka na-etolite etolite kwa.
No. O nwere mgbakwunye DHA iji kwado maka mmepe ụbụrụ. Peak 456 jupụtara na calcium, vitamin D, protein dị ezigbo mma iji mee ka ụmụ gị na-etolite na-agbasi ike.
Ọ masịrị m. Aga m ebido na-edozi ahụ ụmụ m site n'inye ha Peak 456 milik ụmụaka na-etolite etolite maka ntolite ụmụaka agbanwenyere DHA iji kwado mmepe ụbụrụ ha.
Na-etolite na-agbasi ike na ide gara gara site n'iji milik ụmụaka na-etolite etolite Peak 456 na-etolite ụbọchị niile.
Hey, na enjoyment season we dey so. Nothing resemble the enjoyment wey dey inside the pass. Ogbonge sleep wey enter body. When waka don end, you suppose enter house to put head on top mocha for better sleep. After the flenjo outside, na for inside we go finish am. Make you give your people better sleep on top mocha mattress. Enjoy the season o. Mocha, adding comfort to life.
Nri ọbụla m siri ga-enwe nri ụtọ ọma dịkwa mma iri eri ma jupụta n'ịhụnanya.
Anyị na-anụ gị Maggi Star dị n'okpukpu abụọ, ụtọ gbara abụọ, ihe dị mfe gbara abụọ, mana ọ bụkwa ụtọ ahụ ịtụkwasịrị obi. Maggi Star okpukpu abụọ eji so ya rụrụ arụ mee ya na ihe ndị ọzọ na-edozi ahụ maka nnukwu ekpomekpo na-agwa agwa ka naanị Maggi nwere ike iweta n'efere gị.
Ọ na-atọ ezigbo ụtọ.
Weta Maggi double cube taa, mụ na Maggi kwekọrịtara nke ọma.
With my guy, they job we serve as our team. Take the play ball from AFCON 2025. Ghana League and other better league on top Super Sport.
Come to your own happy place this festive season with GoTV. Sharply go recharge your subscription today or arrange your own GoTV decoder for the new lower price of only 6,500 naira. Terms and conditions dey. GoTV, love it.
When life tries to hold me down.
Iso ndị enyi gị na ndị otu gị enweta onwe unu. Ọ bụ gị na ezi enyi gị nwanyị na-elecha nlele. Mi nọ na nzukọ erimeri jollof. Mi na-ezu ike n'ụlọ. Chọtanụ ndụ ọhụrụ dị na Ekpem Razzle. Were Razzle bulite ụwa gị, werekwa Razzle gosi ụwa onye bụ site n'ụtọ ọhụrụ na mmesa ahụ nakwa ụtọ dị iche nke Razzle Cola, orange na lemon. Were Razzle bulite ụwa gị.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, dirty uniforms and shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Mom, honorable, ihe mabụla otu onye na nke ya alọzie na ụmụọma m Walter Akachi God's Time, Walter Chiemezie m Valentine, Walter ihe ọṅụ Mark ji obi aṅụrị na obi ụtọ na-ekele nne anyị hụrụ n'anya ịhụnanya nke ndụ m, ịhụnanya na nwunye nke ntorobịa m, nne nke ụmụ m, ọ masịrị m, obi di ya, ihe ụtọ m, emume ncheta ọmụmụ ọma, ogologo ndụ ahụike na ọdịmma. Ọ masịrị di ya, ana m agọzi ụbọchị ahụ nke m chọtara gị dịka ezi nwaanyị nke aka m. Ịbụ ihe ọma kachasịnụ merela na ndụ m, dịka ị na-eguzosi ike na-anọgide m n'ihe niile nke m na-eme ka ọ gaa nke ọma. Anyị ga-aga n'ihu ịhụ gị n'anya, ikpori mgbe ma mere gị emume nke ndụ a. Anyị ga-anabata gị, hụ gị n'anya. Ọ masịrị m site n'ụwa ruo n'eluigwe, nne nke ụmụ m. Dịka ị na-eme emume ncheta ọmụmụ ọma ma na-abanye afọ ọhụrụ, anyị na-ekpere Chineke ka onye nwe ogologo ndụ, ahụike na ọdịmma, ihe akụkụ, ihe nwenwe. Ị ga-adị ndụ wee mee emume ncheta ọmụmụ nke ọtụtụ afọ ndị nke nọ n'ihu. Achala ugo, anyị hụrụ gị n'anya. Onye tinyere aka n'ozi ya bụ Honorable ihe ma bụla otu onye la nke ya alọzie.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
You're welcome back. Still from the Senate, the bill seeking to amend the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act to classify kidnapping, hostage taking, and related offenses as acts of terrorism has scaled second reading at the Senate. Sponsored by Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele, the proposed legislation prescribes the death penalty without the option of a fine or alternative sentence for offenders. According to him, the bill aligns with the upper chamber's recent commitment to work with the federal government in providing lasting solutions to the nation's security challenges. Recall that 3 weeks ago, during an executive session, the Senate resolved to introduce a robust legal framework specifically targeting the growing menace of kidnapping across the country. Presenting the bill, the Senate leader described kidnapping as one of the most pervasive and highly commercialized forms of violence perpetrated by criminal groups, noting that it has instilled widespread fear in communities and disrupted education, particularly for children.
Well, now that even in high quarters we're hearing an admonition that the issue on ground today in Nigeria, insecurity in different facets, should not be politicized, my mind goes back to a certain governor in Nigeria here, Dr. Samuel Ortom, then governor of Benue State. He was always shouting, and the other governors were quiet. He was shouting at the rooftop. Others who had similar problems with him were no longer, in fact, they were not talking. In the present regime, yeah, we hear Governor Mufwang of Plateau also talking. But the other governors, where they have the theaters of war, are they talking? They are just kid-gloving. Today, the National Assembly has pulled this area well to the sky, and everybody is talking. Well, just 2 weeks ago, if not last week, I said that in Nigeria we have a common palace. Better late than never. So, no matter how long it has taken, if this is the time, we now say, yes, something can happen for 1,000,000 years, but maybe in just 5 seconds there could be an answer. My Oga back then, Sidney Ufeli, told me so, that the fact that it's been wrong does not mean it has to take that long to correct. So now that everybody seems to be focusing, my attention has been drawn to the governors and even the local government chairman. What are their strategies? What are they saying? Are you saying that if they also map out something in conjunction with the federal government, there won't be a faster solution to this? My head is just aching as I talk about it. Because just this morning in passing we mentioned Abakba, OP Unsuka Road. This is a bypass that was, brought to life by the government of Sullivan in Enugu State. And now Governor Umba is even widening the road. You recall that insurgency or kidnapping was so much at the time that the Southeast governors came together and they said, okay, let's expand the ears or the sides of the road. Indeed, Governor Ogwanyi of Enugu State did his own. No other governor did. Governor Ogwanyi, as far as I know, took it from OP Junction, that's the Unsuka Junction, all the way to Abakwa. Today, Governor Umba is also expanding that road maybe to 6 lanes or at best 4, so that the road will be wider. And the road is just as snaky as well at some point. with plains and valleys at some point, which can make it possible, or had even made it possible, and is making it possible for the kidnappers to come out again. What are the governors and chairmen of local governments doing? Some of them will wait until it begins to happen in their states. Then you see them forming committees and all that. Why can't we be proactive? But in places where they are happening, we don't seem to be hearing anything. Even the Bago of Niger State, the man in Zamfara, very cosmetic as far as I'm concerned, and is the man who is wasting Zamfara people's money just for the presentation of the budget, taking space on national television for hours, and to spend millions of this poor state's money. What would this give or do for them? This kind of money, I want to believe, can be channeled into some digital effects to curb insecurity, just like Governor Mba has also done in Enugu now. Governor Mba has brought in a lot of sophisticated drones which will be used, to do some area surveillance of Enugu state and maybe some adjoining states as well. Can't the governors do something like that? They will be quick to tell you that, oh, we are not in charge of the police, we are not in charge of the military. But you can be in charge of some digital effects. Then this is serious.
Well, General Musa did say something yesterday that the Southwest is the safest region in Nigeria today because the governors of that region decided to put politics aside to address insecurity. They came together, not minding the political party that you belong to. For them, the lives of their people were paramount, and they decided to come together, forge a common front, formed what we now know today as Amotekun. In the southeast, to be fair to the current governors, they weren't in office, but their predecessors in office could not agree on any particular thing. On paper, they agreed to form what we know as a Bubagu. But in reality, the man who was even appointed to coordinate the activities of Ebubago, after waiting endlessly for I think 3 months, decided to take a bow. He called it quit to say it is not enough giving me this appointment. There was no office, there were no people to command, so it amounted to nothing. The thing is this, Bernie, those leading us have not come to the realization that the life of a common Nigerian is important. We still see lives as dispensable tools. You wake up every morning, you hear the people you're leading are dying, and you move on like nothing. Just if you take a look at the Western world, 2 persons will die and the country will practically shut down until they hunt the perpetrator. You see the president call the victim by their names. But as people would die, soldiers would die, policemen would die, and we move on like nothing happened. We wait for the next one to happen.
I must say this. It's still politics, even the formation of Amotekun. The late Governor Akeredolu, you know how much he tried. The government of Buhari at the time wanted to go against the formation of Amotekun, but Akeredolu championed the cause. And they succeeded, and it came to stay. And now we can boast that there is some level of sanctity or sanity in the southwestern part of Nigeria. But I need to call the man Otom again. He also wrote to the same federal government, apparently because he was not of the party that the president then belonged to. He wrote, he formed the forest guard and even trained some people with batons and sticks. He said, allow us to at least purchase some guns so that we can, police our forests, our bushes. And the federal government at the time denied him that opportunity, but agreed for Amotekun in the southwest. So there is still politics in it.
True.
So here we are. We've been talking about state police. That has not been given light. Even when the National Assembly went for a retreat in Lagos recently, the issue of state police was jettisoned, among other things that were discussed at the retreat. Now, what about vigilantes? It's not enough to have vigilantes. who will probably use Dane guns and torchlights, bows and arrows, and maybe machetes, vis-a-vis what the terrorists use, which in some quarters it is being said that they are more sophisticated than even what our military use. So there is politics even at that level. If you can allow one zone to have a Motekun, if you can allow Kano, for instance, to have Hizbah, even though Hizbah is not doing anything other than, going against those who are anti-Islam, and I must say it frankly, allow other people. In the northwest and northeast, we know that there have been some, joint task forces with civilian joint task force and all that. But some zones are not allowed to, as it were, or were not allowed to. Can we now allow them, with some restrictions? This is how we can say politics is not part of it. Here we are. Children are kidnapped. And then somebody says they made a phone call to them and within minutes they were, released. Come on. That means you know them. You have their numbers. You dine and wine with them, quote and unquote. All right? So there is so much that has to be, analyzed, synthesized. And at the end of the day, we'll be able to know where we are facing. Because everything is like, discordant tunes everywhere. I must say clearly. All right, as we move away from that, the Senate, through its ad hoc committee investigating the collapse of Safe School Initiative, has summoned the Finance Minister and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wali Edun, to appear before it on Tuesday next week. Summoning the Finance Minister by the ad hoc committee headed by Senator Ojus Okalu for appearance followed the adoption of his work plan during maiden meetings held yesterday. All right, other critical stakeholders of the collapsed initiative slated for summoning are the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, the Chief of Defense Staff, Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense, Mohammed Abubakar Audi, and representatives of school proprietors. Briefing journalists at the inaugural sitting on Wednesday, Chairman of the ad hoc committee vowed that the Senate would unravel all issues surrounding the initiative's implementation and ensure full accountability. He noted that over 1,680 school children have been kidnapped and 180 educational facilities attacked since 2014, describing the situation as unacceptable for a nation committed to educational development and child safety. The committee, according to him, owed Nigerian parents their responsibility to guarantee that their children could pursue education without fear, just as he stressed that the probe was not targeted at any individual or institution, but aimed at strengthening accountability and transparency. Areas of investigation, according to him, are utilization of funds allocated since 2014, deployment and effectiveness of security personnel, early warning and emergency response systems, infrastructure upgrades in vulnerable schools, and perhaps partnership with international donors and private sector contributors. We blow grammar too much. Where were they? Ben, I raised my finger for you for thanking Donald Trump. Where were they? All these things have been on ground.
Exactly. It took Donald Trump.
Just last week or 2 weeks ago, you recall that a certain $406 million loan was taken from China for CCTVs in Abuja. Nobody knew about it. Nobody talked about it until now. They want to unravel, they want to unearth and know how it went. Just like Silva too. Timipre Silva. The EFCC started coming after him all over again. Was the EFCC not after Timipre Silva after he left office? Was his housing estate not, seized in Maitama, Abuja? Was it not released to him? Was he not appointed Minister of State Petroleum Resources? What are we talking about? We just need to wake up. Let's stand on our feet, like Senator Godswill Obot Akpabio did yesterday, and speak with effervescence. Because all this while he was talking like a big man. Our mother, calling her children to come for a sumptuous meal. This is beyond sumptuous meal. This is beyond, messages to your emails. This is serious. And like I often say, unless the big man knows if he go turn to Tata, he go run, he go say, who, mommy. Even the big man. That is what we're seeing now. If this is the time for us to begin to sit up as a people, please shelve politics, then save Nigeria. After which we can now play true politics. I think that is when we can begin to sleep indeed with our eyes closed. But it's a long way to go. It's a long way because it has festered for too long.
Well, talking security, the National Economic Council (NEC) has approved a sum of 100 billion naira, subject to a final ratification by President Bola Tinubu, for rehabilitation of training institutions for the police and other security agencies across Nigeria. This followed recommendations by the ad hoc committee earlier constituted to assess the state of police and security agencies training institution nationwide. At its 154th meeting held virtually on Wednesday and chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, NEC also approved the sum of 2.6 billion naira for consultancy services for the project. Chairman of the ad hoc committee, Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State, had in his presentation to the council underscored the urgency and significance of the condition of the training facilities, saying most of the training institutions were in their condition. Let's take a listen.
Today we submitted an update where essentially we demanded from council, because in order to achieve or accomplish that task, we engaged some consultants, and those consultants have presented us with a proposal of 2.6 billion in order for them to develop detailed engineering plan and also work program with timelines for the refurbishment of these training institutions, particularly cost estimates. I'm happy to report that the council resolved to approve, subject to the consultation with the president, approve the request of 100 billion naira.
All right, the Vice President also charged governors of the 36 states of the Federation to ensure that economic reforms by the state governments translate into clear, measurable improvements in the lives of Nigerians.
Well, it's just a pity. Not too long ago, I think about 3 years ago, a television station in Nigeria here did an expose on the police college Ikeja. And in fact, there is no need repeating what we saw. Then recently, another one on police college Kaduna, where even the lady officer, I think a commissioner of police who was in charge and I'm sure still in charge of the place, said Koro on national television that as she spoke, her quarter where she lived was nothing to write home about, and that she did not even have an official vehicle. Then they took us round the premises, some burnt down, some with roofs that have been blown off, the walls peeling. Some have not seen even any human apart from reptiles around them in years. And that is the I think Kaduna is supposed to be the premier police college in Nigeria. Then you talk about police college in Ikeja. The irony is that I don't know that of Kaduna, but I know that of Lagos. It's on Mobolaji Bank Anthony Way, very prominent side of Lagos, ensconced between that Mobolaji Bank Anthony Way and of course Oba Akinjobi, in the GRA area of Lagos. And the police college, you need to see it. For me, I need to tell somebody like Governor Mbah, who is doing a whole lot in Enugu. Recently, when I traveled, I passed through Holy Ghost in Enugu, and I've seen that there is a beautiful, motor park that has been erected there. The road also is being, leading to Opera Avenue, has been, dualized properly and, being given a new touch. But as you pass through there, if you see the prison service, whether you call it correctional or damaging center, that will not be my concern. The prison center there is an eyesore. So if anybody knows Governor Mbah, don't wait for the federal government. It's your state. And we've seen his counterparts buy Hiluxes, buy walkie-talkies, and all that for policemen. The prisons too need some, assistance.
They're actually working towards relocating the prison. That part of
but
town.
As far as it's there, even if it is to paint the wall and the gate area, so that as you're passing through there now, that is looking more befitting, and that's directly to the man who shared, the story, the issues surrounding the story we are telling you now. That is, by the way, training institutions all over the country. I have had people who even say that in the top military training institutions, that the cadets have to buy their shoes. They come to Aba here to buy them. I stand to be challenged. Buy their uniforms and everything. Their parents now have to, as if you are paying for your children in secondary or university. And these are people who are in military training institutions. Yes, they have to buy some of their things now. And because even in training is a command, and control structure, your senior can come and look at your uniform, it's looking so good, and sees it, nothing where you feel talk. You have to go looking for it again to buy. Well, it's not a joke because it's real. So, if they can, because if you train policemen, for instance, not in the academies now, like we have in Woodville and elsewhere, I think it's Woodville alone for now in Kano. But the police colleges, Abagana, Ojiriva, everywhere. If you train them there in such environment, and when they live there, their barracks are nothing to write about. How do you expect these people to begin to behave in real civil manner? Some of them are taken from very local environments, maybe like my own, taken to the police colleges. And then after they finish, just in 6 months, they are also deployed to barracks where, honestly, if you see some of the barracks, you won't even allow your enemies to stay there. We have one in Aba, just to mention one.
True. Well, for me...
How do you expect them to behave normal?
It's a case of garbage in, garbage out. It's as simple as that. If the training colleges in Lagos and Kaduna could be in such a poor state, then imagine what other training colleges are like currently. So, over the years, we've neglected the police, maybe deliberately by the military, but the civilian administrations from 1999 continued in that trend. So, like you said, it is better late than never. We are beginning to realize that we cannot continue doing the same thing as a people and expect a different result. We must begin to do things differently. You go to the houses of the people who lead this country. They are some of the best houses in the world. I'm not talking about Africa. They have some of the best facilities in the world. But when it comes to public facilities, they are practically nothing to write home about. Also, beyond the facilities, there was something the Vice President said yesterday, that the 36 state governors should ensure that the economic reforms they are carrying out have direct impact on the people. And that's the message President Bola Tinubu has been sending to the state governors for a long time now. Since subsidy was removed, most state governors have been getting triple of their allocation. But you go to these states, the people are not feeling the impact. Rather, what most of them do is increase tax, increase bill on the people at a time that the people have been squeezed. Most local governments in Nigeria today are not even functional, not minding what the Supreme Court said. So, the federal government should mount enough pressure on state governors to let the people feel the impact of subsidy removal. It is not enough for people to turn on radio and TV stations. You hear billions, trillions. We don't talk of trillions today in Nigeria. But Nigerians are hungrier than they have ever been. Nigerians are getting poorer than they have ever been. So where are these monies going to? Let the local government areas work. Let the local government chairmen carry out their own responsibilities.
Exactly. All right, let's go to some issues that I think should be appealing to us, because for some time, Nigerians have been wondering why, just like you said, we've been overtaxed, double charged, and quadruple charged in all spheres. Well, this may just be, a scratch on the surface coming from the central bank, but I think the central bank should also look at it in a way that banks do not overcharge for everything. Now, do you know that if you want to do transfer on USSB, apparently because you don't have data, they will first charge you
from your airtime.
That's right. For wanting to do USSB, but we thought that was just a way of easing, transaction when you don't have data or you're out of network reach. It wasn't like that before. Now they tell you to your face. Then the federal government is deducting. Then you are maintaining ATM card and ATM machine. You are paying VAT. You are doing this. So every transaction, if you do 10 transactions in a day, you are, paying all those charges 10 good times. That is, by the way, what we're going to tell you now is okay, but I think is a scratch on the surface. And so the central bank should look at the other ones that I've mentioned before this. In any case, the Central Bank of Nigeria has removed all cash deposit limits for bank customers, while maintaining strict weekly withdrawal ceilings under a revised set of cash-related policies that take effect on January 1, 2026. The changes were announced in a circular issued on Tuesday and signed by the Director of Financial Policy and Regulation Department, Dr. Rita Sike. The Apex Bank said the new framework was introduced to reflect present-day realities after years of adjustments to cash management rules. A key provision of the circular is the full abolition of the cumulative deposit limit. The CBN stated that the cumulative deposit limit is hereby removed and the fee for excess deposit shall no longer apply, ending the requirement for customers to pay charges when depositing cash above a set threshold. While the CBN removed limits on deposits, the Apex Bank retained the cumulative weekly withdrawal limits. Individuals will continue to face a ceiling of 500,000 naira across all channels, while corporates remain restricted to 5 million naira. According to the circular, withdrawals above these limits shall attract fees of 3% and 5% to individual or corporate customers respectively. On the excesses, that is the excess amount withdrawn, the fee is to be shared between the CBN and the financial institution in a 40-60 ratio. The circular also confirmed that the special approval for monthly withdrawals of 5 million naira by individuals and 10 million naira by customers or corporates rather shall no longer apply. For ATM transactions, customers will remain limited to 100,000 naira daily and up to 500,000 naira weekly, with ATM and POS withdrawals forming part of the cumulative weekly ceiling. All denominations may now be loaded in ATMs under the revised rules. The limit on over-the-counter encashment of third-party checks remains unchanged at 100,000 naira, and the bank emphasized that any withdrawal under this category will form part of the cumulative weekly withdrawal.
Well, the summary of what CBN is saying is, in order to promote cashless economy, before now there are certain amounts of cash you would take to the bank, and the bank would charge you for wanting to deposit that money. The CBN is saying going forward, such charges have been abolished. But in terms of withdrawal, once as an individual, you cannot withdraw more than 100,000 naira cash in a week. Once you withdraw up to 100,000 naira, there will be a restriction placed on your account. Then for corporate bodies, they talked about 500,000 naira cash. So that is for cash. The whole idea is, instead of people moving around with cash, they can afford to do transfers. And of course, you know, government makes money from transfer. Some of you, if you pay attention, whenever you make a transfer, you see federal government FGN transfer fee. I think it is 50 naira, depending on the amount you're transferring. So the whole idea is to promote electronic transfer, Government is also making money by through that means. The banks are also getting theirs through that means as well. The last story this morning, before we go interactive, the ruling All Progressives Congress APC says it will have its National Caucus and National Executive Committee meeting on Monday 15th December 2025 and Tuesday 16th December 2025 respectively. Both meetings are set to take place at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa Abuja. This was contained in an official notice signed by the APC National Secretary Ajibola Bashiru, shared on the party's website on Wednesday.
Well, like it happened in Buhari's era, or in the Buhari era, we're beginning to see a political party taking its meeting to the villa.
That's right.
All because the president belongs to the party, isn't it?
That's right.
But the villa belongs to all of us, irrespective of political party. At what point are we going to see ABGA, for instance, having its function in that same banquet hall in the villa? Or maybe a court party, or more what is African AAC, right? Or ADC now. We're going to see any of these parties also hold their functions in the banquet hall in the villa. That is how we abuse things. In the whole of Abuja, we have the National Conference Center, now known as Bola Tinubu Conference Center, which has been refurbished with God knows how much recently, drawing the opprobrium of Nigerians. And then such a function cannot take place. And for the president to just drive 5 minutes or less to the place. But a political party will have to perform its function there, which we also did not agree with when Buhari was there. But again, this is Nigeria. Let's go on a break. When we return, of course, we'll look at your own side of the bargain this morning. Stay with us.
December, bịa nwetie MTN Yellow Tide December. Ntị gị ọ dịkwa ya site n'okporo ụzọ ruo n'ime ụlọ. Ikuku kwuru na-ekwari maka ihe ntụmanya dị egwu dịka ngwugwu oge ezumike dị ụtọ, onyinye n'efu, mbelata ọnụ ahịa, ndụ na-amasị ndị odogwu nakwa ihe ndị ọzọ dị ukwuu. Ya mere nwanne, isoro biri n'obodo anyị ya bụ Naija ka isi mba ofesi batacha. Ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ ịkụ ngwọrị, zuru ike, larịa ihe nkiri, gaa njem, Yellow Tide apụtala n'ime ka ihe kpụrụ ọkụ n'oge a. Ekwekwala ka ụgbọ hapụ gị. Jee na ịntanetị ugbu a na www.yellowtide.mtn.ng ka ị soro Yellow Tide n'ihe a na-eme.
Mama ghọtara ije. Gịnị ka ị na-eme?
Ana m eme nri ụtụtụ etinyere milik ụmụaka na-etolite etolite Big 456 nke ụmụaka ya bụ Big 456 n'olu bekee.
Nri ụtụtụ etinyere Big 456 milik ụmụaka na-etolite etolite kwa.
No, o nwere mgbakwunye DHA iji kwado maka mmepe ụbụrụ. Big 456 jupụtara na calcium, vitamin D, protein dị ezigbo mma iji mee ka ụmụ gị na-etolite na-agbasi ike.
Ọ masịrị m. Aga m ebido na-edozi ahụ ụmụ m site n'inye ha Big 456 milik ụmụaka na-etolite etolite maka ntolite ụmụaka agbanwenyere DHA iji kwado mmepe ụbụrụ ha.
Na-etolite na-agbasi ike na ide gara site n'iji milik ụmụaka na-etolite etolite Big 456 na-etolite ụbọchị niile.
Nri ọbụla m siri ga-enwe nri ụtọ ọma dịkwa mma iri eri ma jupụta n'ịhụnanya.
Anyị na-anụ gị Maggi Star dị n'okpukpu abụọ, ụtọ gbara abụọ, ihe dị mfe gbara abụọ, mana ọ bụkwa ụtọ ahụ ịtụkwasịrị obi. Maggi Star okpukpu abụọ eji so ya rụrụ arụ mee ya na ihe ndị ọzọ na-edozi ahụ maka nnukwu ekpomekpo na-agwa agwa ka naanị Maggi nwere ike iweta n'efere gị.
Ọ na-atọ ezigbo ụtọ.
Weta Maggi Double Cube taa, mụ na Maggi kwekọrịtara nke ọma.
I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Easy to open, easy to squeeze, easy to scoop and easy to stir. Dishes come alive with so much taste. Not about you. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up pouch.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand up pouch.
So much in love.
Orubeghị otu izu izu ụka anyị hụrụ ka isi tacha ahụ otu a ka ọ bụ na ị chọrọ ka anya dịgide n'ebe ị nọ?
Ọ bụghị ya ahụ, nke a bụkwa amụma ya akwadoghị akwado butere ya.
Maka gịnị?
Ọkwa nwa m, ihe ọbụla ọ hụrụ n'ala o tinye n'ọnụ, o bidozie na-agba agba, afọ na-enye ya nsogbu. Anyị anaghị ehizi ụra eziokwu, ike agwụla.
O nwere ike ọ bụrụ okpo ihe eji agwọ ya dị.
Ihe ahụ gị chọrọ bụ Pyrantrin, ọgwụ na-acha okpo ụkwụ elu ala. Okpo anaghị ekwe ka ụmụaka too nke ọma, ọ na-ebute ọya ndị ọzọ n'ahụ ụmụaka na ndị okenye. Ya mere eji mepụta Pyrantrin maka ezinụlọ. Were Pyrantrin chụọ okpo n'ezinụlọ gị, na-aṅụ ya kwa ọnwa 3 ka okpo hapụ ibiri ebiri n'afọ gị. Ọrụ Pyrantrin enweghị atụ, ọ dị na mkpụrụ nakwa ụdị mmiri. Ọ bụ ndị Nimet International Pharmaceuticals PLC na-eme ya. Pyrantrin, ọkpọkọ ọgwụ na-acha okpo emepụtara maka ezinụlọ.
For this life, you guys keep am real, oh. People wey get realness for body, we no dey fake anything. Na only them dey go far. Real OGs with confirmed energy. And when e reach malt matter, na only that real correct taste. Malta Guinness, totori body, so make you live your own way. Show your realness with Malta Guinness. Malta Guinness, real taste, real moments, real in every way.
Why is this line not moving? Sorry, ma. The network is a bit slow.
Don't lose customers to long queues. With the First Money Merchant POS, every checkout is fast, reliable, and instantly settled.
Finally, quick and easy.
Get your First Money Merchant POS now on www.firstbanknigeria.com/get your POS or at any First Bank branch close to you. First Bank, you first.
Oh, the only detergent that keeps me bright and fresh. I know they waste time to wash. I thought my clothes have the best, so why go less? You can't wash a lot with a little Viva. Use Viva. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Use Viva. Viva, oh Viva. I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever. Viva, oh Viva. I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever. Viva, I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever.
Viva detergent, a quality cleaning powder from Aspira.
Yes, so this is Jolly Johnny on the streets. How well do you know Maggi chicken flavor? Oh yeah, spell celery.
SELARIE. Celery.
Bros, you want turn am to salary? Okay, spell turmeric.
TURMERIC.
Yes, so
Turmeric.
correct. 1 carton of Maggi chicken flavor for you.
Maggi chicken flavor with onions, celery, and turmeric. My game changer.
Ferrobin iron and care, the good for your body, shey you yeah.
Wake up, feel strong, feel free with Ferrobin. Iron for you and me. Ferrobin is a product of Feedsin Healthcare PLC, available in pharmacies nationwide. Ferrobin, the ideal blood builder.
As my husband Oga Chief Odogu come visit us, sharply I arrange ofesala where I use just my 2 finger grind Mr. Chef beef, all purpose and crayfish cubes put inside. Odogu wey no dey chop outside, even carry take away follow body. Now you do this one, oh Mr. Chef. Enjoy the taste of culture with just 2 fingers. When you take grind the Mr. Chef seasoning cubes, e dey for chicken, beef, and all-purpose seasoning cubes. Mr. Chef, taste home, taste culture.
Chef of life.
Ma onwe m honorable ihe ma bụla otu onye na nke ya alọzie na ụmụ ọma m Walter Akachi Gostime, Walter Chiemezie m Valentine, Walter ihe ọṅụ Mark ji obi aṅụrị na obi ụtọ na-ekele nne anyị hụrụ n'anya, ịhụnanya nke ndụ m, ịhụnanya na nwunye nke ntorobịa m, nne nke ụmụ m, ọ masịrị m obi di ya, ihe ụtọ m, emume ncheta ọmụmụ ọma, ogologo ndụ ahụike na ọdịmma, ọ masịrị di ya. Ana m agọzi ụbọchị ahụ nke m chọtara gị dịka ezi nwaanyị nke aka m. Ịbụ ihe ọma kachasịnụ mere na ndụ m, dịka ị na-eguzosi ike na-anọgide m n'ihe niile nke m na-eme ka ọ gaa nke ọma. Anyị ga-aga n'ihu ịhụ gị n'anya, ikpori mgbe ma mere gị emume nke ndụ a. Anyị ga-anabata gị hụ gị n'anya ọ masịrị m site n'ụwa ruo n'eluigwe nne nke ụmụ m dịka ị na-eme emume ncheta ọmụmụ ọma ma na-abanye afọ ọhụrụ anyị na-ekpere Chineke ka onye nwe ogologo ndụ ahụike na ọdịmma ihe akụkụ ihe nwenwe ị ga-adị ndụ wee mee emume ncheta ọmụmụ nke ọtụtụ afọ ndị nke nọ n'ihu achala ugo anyị hụrụ gị n'anya onye tinyere aka n'ozi ya bụ Honorable ihe ma bụ n'otu onye la nke ya alọzie.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
All right, let's get talking. 0907 677 1029. 0916 988 1029. You can as well make use of our social media platforms.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the insecurity in Nigeria, most especially here in South. Just like you guys said, does it mean that our state governors will not come together, unite themselves and fight these kidnappers? Yes, seeking for death penalty is a welcome development, but I think if Buhari was politicized, working in politics, they should come together. If the governor of Enugu is able to get these drones to combat this insecurity, I think they can do it collectively. That's all I have to say for now.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, everybody, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Your name and location.
Yeah, my name is Thomas from Rukishu.
Go ahead.
You are doing a very wonderful work over there.
Thank you.
I do want to ask this question. I've always asked this question. Ben and Bonnie and Anne, if you are to be elected as a leader in this nation, will you be able to, all these things you say against some people, can you maintain them? If you are giving the money that you've been giving to these people, trillions of naira, will you not forget your people? Because that is what is happening now. People will come and campaign and campaign. At the end of the campaign, they will say, I will lay my life, I will give my life, I will sell everything to make sure everybody is well. But when they go there, they turn around. If you are elected as a leader, will you not add that way? Secondly, look at the kind of killing that is going on in this nation. People are dying every day. People are being killed every day. God help us. God bless you.
All right. God bless you too. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Bonnie and Ben.
Thank you for joining us. Your name and location.
Yes, my name is Pastor Fondi Hichuku. I'm calling from Aba.
Pastor, go ahead.
The appointment of our brother Christopher is a welcome development. But all Nigerians should pray for that man, because that kind of person, even some people in the north will be against him. They will actually be against him. Then on the issue of insecurity, I am not a soldier, but I'm a spiritual soldier. There is something that we call spiritual, there is something we call stronghold. If you are fighting any battle, you have not taken the battle to the stronghold, you have never won the battle. That forest, where these people are hiding, their stronghold. Why can't Nigerian military take the battle to that stronghold? Why are they not reserving that forest? If Nigeria doesn't have the money to develop that forest, why can't they lease it to people that can develop that forest? Because as far as I'm concerned, if Nigerian military cannot take this battle to their stronghold, which is that forest, that Sambisa forest and other forests in the north, it will be difficult for them to win this battle, because they normally see that place as their safe haven. anytime the military pursue them, they will run to that place and they are secured. So that is my take this morning.
All right.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
Your name and location.
Okay, this is Pastor Welo, and I'm calling you from Shimahe.
Go ahead, Pastor.
Okay, sir. Concerning General Christopher Musa, I want to tell him if he wants to track down the people who are financing terrorism in Nigeria, very, very easy. Number one, we have so many networks we are using here in Nigeria. Number one, MTN. Number two, Airtel. Number three, Glo, and the other network. When we go to buy SIM card, we do registration there and take a picture, a passport, a big picture there. And there is no, as I'm calling you now, MTN know what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? They know what I'm doing. So those bandits or terrorists in the bush, they receive calls there. And the people who are sponsoring them are also calling them there. So what am I trying to say? Let them go to MTN office or this network and check people how calls are being going in the north. Let them face north first, because they are calling these people in on phone. Those terrorists on phone, and terrorists are also calling them on phone. Who are those people? Who are they financing them? So that's what I have to say about myself.
All right. Let's take a look at the social media platforms. WhatsApp. Michael Reeves from Cameroon Road says our leaders enjoy seeing us suffer. You cannot track these criminals and beasts, but you can easily track someone who constructively criticizes the government. Then I ask, what is the need of our NIN and BVN that kept us under the sun and rain? And I'm also hearing that we should go do our thing. If not, you won't withdraw your money from your bank from next year. Our leaders are clueless. The side attraction masqueraded as grilling cannot impress me. After all, they were not going to disqualify him for three major reasons. One, he's good. Two, public opinion favored him. And lastly, the president's angle. Let us wait for a request for loan and see how Akpabio and his National Assembly would react. Don't forget that he also said that Trump is on their neck. This is coming from Unguma Jonah Wago from Omunze and Nunuku Autonomous Community. All right, thank you. From the Facebook page, Honey Best, thank you for joining us. Imam Batlomi, thank you. Mazi Zubi Madweke, Senate confirms General Musa's nomination as defense minister. Whoever that becomes the defense minister, all we need is adequate security in the land. Wanganji, all right, thank you. You're watching from Port Harcourt. Okay, Polycarp Egejuru. General Musa to be the defense minister is God answered prayers via the threat of Trump, and I also think the much drilling by the Senate could be attributed to people who know his ability and do not want him to succeed. Okay. Well, you said glory be to God, he survived. Ezimwa Orwell Ebere. The kidnapping of school children and teachers in Nigeria is atrocious to damage the education sector and create fears in the mind of little ones. What would it take our government to install digital devices to curb this menace? Chijoke Imebu, it would be a good one if the appointment of General Musa as defense minister scales through and if he would keep to his words. I just pray he is the one that is going to get a job, and also wish Nigeria would sincerely fight this terrorism. All right, thank you. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location.
Good morning. My name is Uche.
Uche, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to say that making new laws
has never been the problem of Nigeria. Because in the program, I remember one of the news is that the bill is already passing second reading of making kidnapping a death sentence or whatever. I am still saying that making new laws has never been the problem of Nigeria. The problem is those laws that we have, how ready are we to obey them? We don't obey rule of law. So, and the ones that we have, we've not obeyed them, and we are making another law. That's my take this morning. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Uche. Back to the Facebook. This time around, the post we made. Unique says, for the first time in Akpabio's Senate, a nominee was not asked to take a bow as usual. Trump, I hail. Oyenkuzi Smart, NEC approving 100 billion naira for the renovation of security agencies, training centers is good, but giving them enough equipment to face the security challenges facing the country is better. Thank God Chinenye Enemana is urging political office holders to utilize the fund allocated to their ministries judiciously. Ezemwa Ikedinachi Prince Ikedi, our senators have done what they know how to do excellently well, confirmation upon confirmation. Is there anything that the executive bring to them that will not get approval automatically? Chai, as for the general, that has been confirmed, a lot of work awaits him. Okay, thank you. Austin Ojo, we heard so many things from social media when General Musa was dropped as Chief of Defense Staff. I believe opportunity has presented itself again for him to exploit and conquer this insurgency ravaging Nigeria. Prince Law Shakida, some highly placed Nigerians are into some criminal activities, and thanks to President Trump for forcing them to hands off, hence an emerging legislation to nail them. Chibuzo DMS Ekwebu, first time in the history when a Nigerian Senate president would be very serious with national issues. Who knows how many bow and go ministers not have gone through the same process. Obuagu Emmanuel Simba, death penalty for kidnappers and hostage takers presented in the law. They should also present death penalty for terrorist organizers and banditry unless they are afraid to expose themselves. Ezinwa Orwell Ebere, Senate summoning the finance and education ministers over collapse of 30 edition. My name is Ben Mwatu. Have a terrific Thursday.
Oh, Subrino, and December, there was MTN Yellow Tide December. Ntigo de kwaya site n'okpuru zoro n'ime ụlọ ikuku kwuru na ekwari maka ihe ntụmanya dị egwu dịka ngwugwu oge ezumike dị ụtọ onyinye n'efu mbelata ọnụ ahịa ndụ na-amasị ndị odogwu nakwa ihe ndị ọzọ dị ukwuu ya mere nwanne isoro biri n'obodo anyị ya bụ Naija ka isi mba ofesi batacha ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ ịkụ ngwọrị zuru ike larịa ihe nkiri gaa njem Yellow Tide apụtala n'ime ka ihe kpụrụ ọkụ n'oge a ekwekwala ka ụgbọ hapụ gị jee na ịntanetị ugbu a na www.yellowtide.
Malt matter, now only that real correct taste. Malta Guinness, Totori body, so make you live your own way. Show your realness with Malta Guinness. Malta Guinness, real taste, real moments, real in every way.
Nothing tell you any day that everything tastes better. It's Bama.
Experience the taste of Bama mayonnaise. With Bama mayonnaise, settling for good is never an option. There's good, then there's Bama-liciously good.
With my guy,
Razzle your world. It's tough out there, but you need to keep on moving. Here at Total Energies, we've been innovating for over 70 years to offer you quartz engine oil that protects your car and SUV engines, improve performance and increase fuel efficiency. There's a quartz for every engine type, thermal, hybrid and electric, bringing you outstanding efficiency and prolonged engine life, along with a reduction in polluting emissions with quartz lubricants formulated to protect perfect emission control systems. Save on maintenance with Quartz lubricants and keep your engines younger for longer. Experience Total Energies premium lubricants through the years.
You want shine like Odogu with Tasty Tom and the Rika Millionaire Splash promo. Your dream day just one text away. Buy any Tasty Tom or the Rika Tomato Mix Sachet. Find the secret code inside. Dial star 8011 star 2 star pin hash. You go win airtime plus the chance to hammer big cash. Every day, 5 people go collect 50,000 naira. Another 5 go collect 100,000 naira each. And every week, 2 lucky people go turn millionaire. This promo go run from November 15, 2025. Go reach January 15, 2026. Terms and conditions dey show. Tasty Tom, the Rika Millionaire Splash. The Odogu this season.
I, Honorable Yema Bulotu Oyelankeya Alozie, and my children, Walter Akachi Ghost-Time, Walter Chemezim Darlington, Walter Ihionu Mark, wish our mother, the love of my life, love and wife of my youth, and mother of my children, Omasirim Obidia Ihiotom, happy birthday. Omasiridia, I bless the day I found you. You are the best thing that happened in my life, as you always stood by me. I will always celebrate, cherish, loving Omasirim from earth to the moon, mother of my kids, as you step into this new age. I pray for long life, prosperity, and many more. Enjoy your day, my Achalugo. We love you. Signed, Honorable Yema Bulotu Oyelankeya.